Hey guys, Gabriel Active here, and welcome everyone to Mission Case Files number 5, Return to Ravenhurst. I'm playing this, by the way, for nostalgic reasons, because I think there are some things I would like to talk about for the Mission Case Files latest beta. For those people who haven't watched my beta survey playthrough, please go check it out. Yeah, it should be in my channel. But I would like to also seriously say some things that I think Grandma Studios really needs to know, because let's just say, guys, I have many things to say about Mission Case Files number 26, Crime and Reflection. So, yeah, okay. So let me sum it up in this video about the disagreements that I have with this game. And how I think Grandma Studios could do, like, better games in the future of this series, if they want the series to continue. Because let's just say I am not extremely happy with the way the entire series is progressing, and I hope that Grandma Studios does really watch this video. I know that Phil has already done his own share of like how he thinks the game could have been improved more. But seriously, I think I should also give an extra word, because I know that, yeah, Grandma Studios might not have the best communication right now, because I know they're facing a huge crisis in their country right now. So yeah, so I just want to give like an extra word across, because in case Phil's voice and Keith's voice were not heard, at the very least my voice, I hope they can hear it, because I know they have been watching my videos. So yeah, this is my review, Grandma Studios. I hope you can actually really listen for once, and at least try to understand, because this has gone really far. And yeah, okay, I'm going to be judging the game beta survey based on tone, the story plot, and yeah, basically like how and the realism, because in the past Big Fish Games has this very cool thing about realism. So yeah, I'm not sure why Grandma Studios is kind of ignoring realism this time. So okay, let's start with the story tone. Let's start with the freaking game, arts, the graphics and stuff, and what I think about it. So, okay, I don't exactly have the very good editing skills as Phil, so yeah, there will be no transition. So I kind of wish there's a transition here, yes, so that I can actually like say the things I want to say and stuff. So okay, but first of all, guys, I just think that okay. As usual, Grandma Studios, I see that you guys have improved in your art, and like you guys try to fulfill your stuff on art. That's really cool. I've always long been a huge fan of their arts. They may not be strong in story plot and stuff, but I have to admit, credit where credit is due. Your art is amazing. Like when I saw the freaking like the scenes for the hidden object games, I see the scenes for the cutscene for like the cutscenes, and also the settings of the or where the game is going to be held this time. I thought, it's gonna be pretty good. It feels that, wow, I'm actually in the game itself. Actually, that's pretty cool. It may not be as realism and as immersive as some people might want, but still, the art is amazing. I think Phil can agree with me as well. The art for the entire game is amazing. Massive props, man. Yeah, like I said, credit where credit is due. I think the art was pretty well done. Like, yeah, no joke, pretty well done. And then of course, yeah, the music though, I think I can sense a bit of a song, a certain theme song that might be following the basically the story, the freaking like MCF motive this time, but vaguely. I know for a fact that Epix Entertainment has done like theme songs for the games that actually vaguely follow the MCF theme. So like I'm Grandma Studios, if you're doing this, like, if you're following this, like, pattern, of course, no problem. I think that most of the fans would not mind, because Epix Entertainment has done that before, and they did it beautifully. Like, they actually did theme songs that actually vaguely follow the MCN motive, if you listen closely. So I thought that freaking Like, if this is what you're trying to pull for the beginning of the theme song, Grandma Studios, massive props to you. I mean, like, at least it's the first theme song we've ever heard in a while, which, great. At least you're listening to us about the MCF theme song, if that's the case here. Because I'm not sure whether, like, I think Phil is also saying that, of course, it might be the MCF theme song, it might not be. There might be one, there might not be one. So I'm also not trying to get my hopes a bit too much because I know that Grandma Studios apparently has some problems doing that in the past. But if that's what you're going for, fine, sure. And of course, MCF theme. I'm okay, you Grandma Studios. If you actually are intending to do a theme sometime in the future, like, please do one. Because the MCF theme song is very iconic. And the theme song follows the setting that's already played, like the setting of the game. So yeah, I hope that at least for once you do not butcher the theme song. Yeah, at least that's unfortunately, guys. I think that's all the good things I have to say about this game. Like, it's very sad though. Like, I do desperately want to say more good things about the beta survey as a whole, but there are some things that make me super disappointed with the game as a whole. And I hope that Grandma Studios do listen because, I know that it's kind of impossible sometimes for, like for some, like kind of like, for example, if Thomas and Friends, let's put in Thomas and Friends for example. I know that the freaking like Mattel may not be able to kind of like follow the hit entertainment completely, but at least we do expect them to understand, have a level expectation of to understand what this game, like, no, what this show, yes, Thomas and Friends, what this show, like, what the reason for it being popular. It wasn't just about it being British trains and stuff. We also expected, like, like good storytelling, like, at least, like, in the past, there was always, like, good storytelling, defining characters, memorable characters. And at the very least, they don't try to kind of like change the canon, the established canon. Like Edward and Henry. Yeah, for those Thomas and Friends fans, I'm sure you know exactly what I'm trying to talk about here. It's just that, like, seeing how Mr. Kane's spouse fell kind of reminds me of Thomas and Friends a lot because both of them had pretty interesting, like, common things. Like, both franchises fell in such a manner that, like, fans are enraged and stuff. At least the difference is that Mattel doesn't really listen to the fans, which I found it very disheartening. But at the very least, I hope that Grandma Studios is listening. I know that you guys have been watching my streams and stuff, so yeah, pretty cool, pretty cool. But the point I'm trying to make, Grandma Studios, is that, like, we're not really expecting completely for you to follow the Big Fish Games motives or, like, the Epix Entertainment motives. We're just trying to tell you to, at the very least, respect the franchise and, like, like, at least try not to go down the same path as Thomas and Friends did. Because, like Phil said in his own stream, I'm just very disappointed the fact that the canon has been touched inappropriately. Like, Devil in My Legacy was such a disappointment. Yeah, because the thing about Delamar Legacy is that, we thought that the Ravenhurst arc is already over. Like, I think we can all conclude, all the old fans can conclude that the Ravenhurst arc is over. Like, after Ravenhurst Unlocked, it's already over. When Escape from Ravenhurst ended, it's already done. Like, done and over with. We are not expecting you to dig it back up because the thing is, we already acknowledged that the franchise was done. Like, the franchise with Ravenhurst in it, done, over, gone. We do not wish, like, personally, I think a lot of fans here would not wish for the entire franchise to seriously go back down the same path again with Ravenhurst, and, because the thing is, like, once the fans like us establish that the franchise is already ended, like, we don't expect people to kind of like dig it up again because first of all, there is no good reason to dig it up. The canon's over. The story is finished. It's over and done with. Like, we do expect Grandma Studios for you to do something maybe more original. But then, Delaware Legacy came up, and then apparently when Charles was revealed to be alive forevermore, I was not happy, Phil was not happy, Code was not happy. The Mad Hatters are not happy about this because we already concluded that the freaking canon was supposed to be over and done with. Charles was supposed to be dead. Was supposed to be done with. And then Grandma Studio just found a reason to kind of like drag it back up with no reason, no explanation whatsoever, no justification on why this entire Ravenhood story arc is supposed to be dug up once again. It's just really, really disappointing to see it because, like, once the established canon, like, in a show in a game is done, like, most of the fans would have expected it to be over and gone, but then, like, Grandma Studios just kept letting it show up. It's seriously really disappointing to see. Like, good freaking lord. So, yeah, why am I talking about the Delaware Legacy here? Is because, spoilers ahead, if you guys don't want to be spoiled by the game, like, if you guys haven't played the beta yet and do not wish to be spoiled, I advise you guys to not listen ahead. But if you guys want to be spoiled anyway, or by some reason you already played the game, or any other reason, feel free to stay. But it's just that this game is basically a sequel to the Countess, which was not a very well-loved game. It is one thing to milk Ravenhurst and, like, manipulate the canon in there. Of course, fans like us, we did not like that the twins did a freaking a heel turn 360 without any reason. We did not like it when Alistair, was, dug up this entire city owned by apparently the Ravenhurst family for God knows what kind of reason and in what time period, we don't know. It's one thing for Alistair to kind of like rise up the city and finish what he started without any reason whatsoever. And also another freaking thing for Grandma Studios to dig up this entire Ravenhurst story arc once again and do their own thing. Because, like, Ravenhurst is popular. Even if we do complain about it, it's not going to be that many complaints and stuff. But seriously, why are you guys reminding us of bad cases, like poorly written games that wasn't supposed to be dug up anymore? The Countess was not very well received, as I recall. So, like, I'm really disappointed in Grandma Studios about this because, like, it's just really clear that once they do things like this, like reminding us of poorly written cases, like, it's clear that you didn't do your research. Like, I'm not expecting you to completely understand about the franchise, but good freaking lord, like, like, it's very disappointing to see Grandma Studios so out of touch with their own fans, like, with the audience here, because in the past, the reason why Big Fish Games was so popular is that they managed to stay in touch with their audience. Like, they asked what their audience wants, they know what their audience was really excited about, so they decided to do it. They didn't care how long that the franchise or, like, the next game is gonna take. As long as the people like it, it's no matter. They did a lot of planning, they did a lot of concept art, they did a lot of prop searching, which I appreciate them for. Yes, one example is 13 Skull, another example is Dire Grove. Seriously, we urge Grandma Studios to maybe check out these games and dig up the walkthroughs if you can, because those two are the most popular games of all time because it's very well planned. There are not a lot of flaws in the game. Okay, the only flaws I complain about are the puzzles, because some of the puzzles can be quite annoying for new people. But still, challenge level was there. The freaking story plot was there. 10 out of 10. I recommend playing 13 Skull and Diagram again because those were so freaking good. They were so epic because the stories were well planned. So Grandma Studios, I really do urge you to check out these two games because seriously guys, this is very disappointing. It's already like you guys have not done. I'm really sorry if I insult you guys because, you know, I'm not a game creator. I'm not seriously like I know that I can't exactly understand the hard work and the diligence that, you know, like game makers like you guys, you know, like I do try to appreciate you guys like doing like making these games for us because truth be told, like I said, I won't be able to understand like what a game maker does. You know, like that's the thing, like I just don't know what to say about the games that came out because I can tell that not a lot of planning was done. Like, the games was seriously rushed. So, seriously, Grandma Studios, we urge you once again to, if you need time to think about the game writing and stuff, please be sure to seriously plan out your writing carefully, please. If you need to take as much time as you can, go for it. We don't care if there's any like, we don't care whether we have to wait for at least 2 to 3 years. We don't care whether, like, you know, whether it takes at least 4 to 5 years. We don't care. As long as the games were good, as long as when we play the games, we can be sure, like, oh, somebody has clearly done an effort to understand how the games were made popular. They understand that it doesn't, like, you do not need to rush to make a good game. You know, like, I won't have a big deal, you know, like, I won't think it's a big deal, you know, like, while playing it. I'm sure Phil and Code will agree with me if they were here. But seriously, Grandma Studios, seriously, get in touch with your audience, please. Like, at the very least, get some feedback. Get some, if you need to do surveys, do surveys. If you need to ask for feedback, go for it, because like, it's very disappointing to see, like, Grandma Studios milking the heck out of old cases and, like, and also, like, reminding us of bad cases because the Countess was not very well received when it was first out. So I don't know why Grandma Studios is digging this up again. I'm not sure whether, like, it's gonna turn out okay in a new game whatsoever because the thing is, like, I do admit I did have some fun playing it because yeah, but I can tell from the game that it was so freaking rushed. Like the game was so rushed that yeah, I was really confused because the freaking plot was all over the place. I had no idea like, oh, is this like, oh, this is it? Like no freaking like backstory, no stuff, no nothing. Like it's just one place to another. There was no like suspense whatsoever. There was no build up. It was just that. Yeah, it was so disappointing to see that. Like, good freaking lord. So Grandma Studios, seriously, story plot, please work on it. We don't care whether it takes 2 to 3 years. Just please, I urge you to please take as much time as you need. World build, research about the world building. And please try not to manipulate the freaking canon anymore, please. Like, Epic's already done enough damage. We don't want, like, I don't think any of the fans will want to see this entire franchise go so downhill. Just because of rushed story plots and stuff like that. Yeah. And, okay, another complaint I would like to make, another review I would like to make. I'm sorry if I'm ranting here, it's really, like, I was not happy when I played the game, so I just want to urge Grandma Studios to know about this. I have never seen so many incompetent characters in my freaking life while I played the beta survey. Like, good freaking lord. What were you guys doing when you guys wrote up the characters for the games? I had never seen so many incompetent people during the first few minutes I played the game. I mean, like, pretty okay with like detective meeting the police. Like, you know, like I do expect to have some collaborations with between detective and the police force once in a while. It's okay if it's not for the royal family because I am aware there are reasons why you guys can't show the royal family, which is fine, which is fine. Because of real life situations. Okay, fine. But seriously, guys, the police. Oh my goodness, where do I begin with the police? The police. I don't know what is wrong with the police. Like, good lord, I have never seen so many incompetent police force people in my life. Like, good freaking lord. Like, were the police that incompetent? Like, the puzzle was super easy. Like, I'm not even a detective. I'm just a random human. This, like, being the master detective here. Solving that first mega puzzle pretty quickly. And they're like, oh, how did you do that? Like, the list and stuff. Like, we weren't able to do it. How did you guys do it? Like, no realism in this. There are no realism in the games. Like, seriously, man, I thought the police would be better than this. Like, you know, this guy is the Chief Inspector Miller here. This guy is a Chief Inspector, and you're telling me he can't find a single, like, trace in that pile of mud that shows that the freaking origins is from Scotland. Like, you're telling me they hadn't arrived in the same results that Detective did. Like, they haven't sent anyone to Scotland to investigate earlier and stuff. Like, you're telling me that the police were this incompetent. Good freaking lord. Like, when I first heard about that, I wasn't a happy camper. And then the later freaking encounters the police, like, and then the part where the freaking walkie-talkie breaks, good freaking lord, I was very mad when I saw that. I was like, why the frick are things destroyed once they reach my hand? Do I have magical hands or something? Am I some secret animatronic that I don't know about? Like, is the detective strength this freaking high to kind of like break every single thing around them? Like, seriously, there's no realism in any of the freaking games. I was hoping that at least one electronic won't get broken. The freaking drone, and the freaking drone as well. Like, where the frick was the beacon? Somewhere further away. You know, guys, like, you know, like, we expected a bit, like, the thing about Big Fish games, like, in the older games. And at the very least, I think Elephant Games and Epix Entertainment were trying to do at the very least. They understood about realism. They understood that the police weren't incompetent. They understand that the police was working with the detective because technically the detective was part of the royal agency, according to the canon. So I was very surprised to see that the police weren't aware that they're from the royal agency and stuff. Like, it's strongly implied in the last resort that the police was not aware. I was very surprised. I didn't say anything about it back then because I kind of brushed it aside because I thought this was going to be like a one-shot thing. You know, like, because, yeah. But right now, guys, I'm just really shocked that there's no realism in this. Like, never have I seen the police so incompetent in my life. Never have I seen the detective not try so hard, at the very least, show some effort to save the guy who was in the mirror. And instead, he just let the guy go. Like, what is wrong with... Oh my god, like... I don't know what to say, man, like... What am I supposed to say? Like, good lord. Seriously, Grandma Studios, I'm just really tired of ranting about all sorts of things like this, like small flaws and stuff that I keep on finding game, like major flaws, small flaws. Like, we're not, like, seriously, Grandma Studios, at the very least, we expect you to have an understanding, at the very least, some understanding of what, like, I know that you guys have a very huge crisis going on right now, you know, like, I understand that you guys are going through a very serious thing, a serious crisis, and I also pray for the Ukrainian people there, because I know that not a lot of people are doing too well right now. I understand that there are many loved ones that are being lost. I do pray for them and hope that hopefully, they will find peace wherever they are. But at the very least, Grandma Studios, when we say that we expect you to do maybe at least a bit of research to see whether there's some you get some understanding of what the fans want, like what the fans were going for, and what Big Fish Games, Epics, and Elephant Games were going for. We hope at the very least you can try to understand like what we're trying to tell you. Because seriously, like, Last Resort was such a freaking disappointment. Because it was such a... I'm not sure whether that's intentional or not, because the developer told me... I'm not sure whether you're the developer here. But the developer told me that it wasn't intentional. They have never played Diagrove before. I'm not sure whether it's coincidental or otherwise, but seriously, Grandma Studios, I implore you, do some research. Find out how games like this, Return of Ravenhurst, Diagrove, and 13 Skull, Escape from Ravenhurst, all those older games, how they became popular. Like, we're not trying to tell you to copy the greatest classics, because Last Resort was such a copy. It was such a blatant copy. I'm not sure if it's coincidental or not. It was such a blatant copy that we're super disappointed when we played it. Delamar Legacy was just like Grandma Studios' attempt of milking the entire way to oblivion, and I was so disappointed when I actually played it, like, from beginning to end. And now Grandma Studios is doing number 26 here, and right now it was such a major disappointment. You know, guys, like, I sincerely hope that this doesn't end up like Thomas and Friends, because Thomas and Friends, no matter what Mattel tells them, I hope they don't, like, I hope the Grandma Studios doesn't really end up in the path of Mattel, because Mattel, no matter what we say, talk to Mattel about, no matter what we say to them, they're not gonna fix anything. We know for a fact that they're not gonna fix anything. With all engines go and stuff, like, yeah, they clearly already had their mindset on it. They're not gonna change anything. But seriously, Grandma Studios, are we really going to go downhill like this? Are we going to let this entire franchise go down? Like, yeah, I'm just really flabbergasted that this is even a thing in Mystery Case Files now. Like, as a fan, as a very old-time fan, I've been playing Mystery Case Files for over 10 years now. I'm just really disappointed to see how this went so downhill. I'm not sure whether they're going to be listening to this. I just really hope that they try to understand like what we're trying to say here. I will be reiterating these points later in like when Game 26 comes out. I'll be summing up my thoughts on it before I play and after I play it. I hope everyone can get to enjoy the stream while we actually played it. I'm not sure whether the rest of the Mad Hatters will be together. Hopefully they will. Because I got the feeling we all have a lot to say to Grandma Studios about the way they're handling this franchise. I'm just very appalled with the fact that they're trying to milk this entire franchise. Like, they're trying to milk the Ravenhurst arc. Last Resort has just turned out to be a blatant copy of Diagrove, coincidental or not. And Crossfade wasn't exactly very well received. It's good compared to the horrendous thing which is called the Black Crown, but still, it was such a disappointment. And I can't begin to describe Pendle Tower. Pendle Tower was such a freaking disappointment. Like, nothing big happened there. It's just basically it's just a game that we can just literally skip. That's the thing. Like. Like, it was such a freaking disappointment, guys. Like, I'm just... The thing, and by the way, guys, yeah. About Mystery Case Files, guys, I'll be playing more games like this. I'll be doing, like, more walkthroughs on the older games. Not just Mystery Case Files now, I will be kind of, like, branching out. And also, like, maybe, like, playing stuff, because I know that I have a lot more streamer friends now. I want to kind of introduce the HOG stuff to them, like back in the old days, back when games were good. So you may see me playing more like older games like this in the future. I know that I already done a revisit of Return of Raven Husk. But maybe next time in the future, maybe I can like play this for fun and like try to remember the fact that, you know, like back during those days when Mission Case Files wasn't exactly like milked in oblivion, you know. Mission Case Files was so good back then. Like the golden age was so freaking iconic. Like you can't help but love it. But instead, it's just really disappointing to see this entire franchise go so downhill because of Burma Studios' ignorance of the realism and stuff. And so yeah, Burma Studios, I really sincerely hope you're hearing this right now. I just don't want to repeat my entire feedback all over again. I really do hope that your next installment, if you ever have a next installment, like, it'll be good. And at very least you can get our feedback across and take your time, man. Don't freaking rush in your world building. Don't freaking rush in your game making. We don't care whether it takes 2 to 3 years. You know, like, at the very least, freaking make the game good. Like, seriously, guys, like, I don't know what to say about everything. So basically, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed. I'm not sure whether I will be revisiting this game, like I said. But yeah, guys, hope you guys take care, everybody. And seriously, have a very nice day, everybody. And I'm really sorry if you have to hear me vent like this and seriously, like, rant like this because this entire feedback has been going on for years now. I just wishing and hoping that this time Grandma Studios would truly listen to us, you know, like, yeah. So guys, hope you guys all enjoy, everybody. And yeah, I'll be doing more games. I'll be doing more streaming in the future, everybody. So guys, stay tuned and peace out, everybody.